All right, everyone, away we go. This is round 16, the first King of the Hill matchup that we're having. Currently, we have the top two contenders, Abdulmami Jimo currently on uh, 12 wins, 3 losses, then Rex on 11 wins and 4 losses. Every game here and out matters. As usual, this is Excel Muiwa, and with me doing the commentary, I have Coin Solar Saki.
Yeah, welcome back everyone. Coinsola here. Round 16, first game of the King of the Hills. We'll be having three King of the Hills, and then we have our winner for this year's DDNSC.
Exactly. And Rex, they're having a really nice draw for the first one. And to be honest, I actually like his choice here of GOX because there was HOX as an option. But I know a lot of players really don't like that G. And T, oh, sorry, the CHI blank combination seems to be slightly better than IGT. I mean, yes, you could try and hope for ING bingos, but there's something about that CH blank combination that seems slightly better. And now, Momin there, also with a blank to going for Fury. Do you think he should have exchanged, or you think this is a pretty good play?
I mean, I would have exchanged, but I'm not the Masters player, so hey, what do I know?
I mean, it looks pretty good. DQ Blanc could maybe yield some bingos in the next turn. And now it's back to Rex. Would he be bingoing on this turn?
Yes, most likely it should be. Humorist playing through the second hour of Rory right underneath Gox for 78. Quite obscure. Yeah, all these options play to the second R of um Rory. Yeah, so hopefully he spots one of them.
Yeah, well, he has one bingo to the Y in Furry. That's thymosin. And I know you are a medical student to say, is this, I think this has to be medically related. Let's see. Thymosin means hormone secreted by the thymus. So, yep, I'm sure you'll be spotting this quite easily. Yeah.
Me, sorry. Uh Probably probably not. I don't think I would. I mean, I do know thymosin. But then spotting the word is quite different from knowing the word, especially when you have the HM and then you have to play to a Y, you know.
Yeah, true. And especially when you have the blank, because you have to start thinking, what exactly could the blank be? Wow.
Right.
Uh, Seems he has spotted rim shots. I was worried there for a second that he would not be seeing any of his bingo. I'm sure he's not really glad about this because he's floating that S out in space for in the triple lane. But I think it's super impressive that he did find the bingo regardless.
Esquired, 203 points, about to come down.
No way.
A
No
very interesting,
way.
like, wow, 203 points. Hmm. I'm
I
100% sure Rex would not see that coming.
I can't believe this. I want to see the look on Rex's face when this comes down 200 over 200 points. I mean, he had better draw to a bingo right now, or else this game is long gone.
Esquire. What are the odds? What are the odds? And when
Yeah.
he made that move of Rory instead of exchanging, that's why I said, I'm not the Masters player. Like, what do I know? I don't have experience. I don't know these things. Because look at what came out of that 203 points. Wow.
incredible move there, and I mean it's tough luck there for Rex. I think this is why at their level they can't afford to miss the better options. I mean, finding the bingo is impressive enough already, but spotting things like thoriums and the rest of the bingos, I think you mentioned humorist. Yeah, this is what's really gives certain players the edge in a category as difficult as this. So I'm sure he must feel some type of way, thinking, "Oh, why did I allow this to happen?" But I mean, he just has to keep playing, and it looks like he has a set of tiles that are not particularly bad. Would he be bingoing as I was hoping he would?
No, I mean if there was an E properly placed on the board, average, would have been his bingo. But fortunately, it would not be bingoing on this turn.
Yeah, too bad. But I mean, now the we have our work cut out for us. We desperately need to make this game sound exciting and hoping for some sort of comeback. And well, to be fair, it's actually not as absurd as you might think. It's 120 points difference. Yes, it is a lot, but I think the advantage here is the fact that it is very, very early in the game, and there is so many possibilities from here. What do you think?
Right, I don't think all hope is lost. I mean, coming from the last game where there was about 150, point spread, and then at some point in the game they were tied. Even after that, close to the end of the game, and there was, I think at the end of the game it was about 20 points or 30 points um spread. So yes, it's still very early on. All hope is not lost for Rex just yet.
Yeah, now we can see he's taking his time. Knowing Rex, we've seen him on stream many times that he just blitz through his moves, but now he knows what is at stake. He knows that fine, he's already disadvantaged in like the third move of the game, but he needs to really take his time here. So with GRAVEAD, let's see average. I mean, do you really want to just blow up this back? I mean, 38 points. It's I mean, he has I think he just has to play the average at this point. The V would sit on the double or the triple letter score and would play to that E in S squared. So I think yeah, average has to be the move. I mean, it blows up the rack, but and there are no blanks actually to be picked in the bag. But I'm not seeing anything that comes closer to the 38 points move. Does he have anything else? Maybe just slightly better.
Better, let's see. I think his other play also plays to the E of Esquire. So I think average is probably the best he can do on this turn. Unless he doesn't want to blow up the rack and then maybe play something like FAV for 17.
Yeah, FAV will retain GRADE and would hope to try and bingo next turn. The FAV takes the hook, fave, and fava. Maybe just maybe. But I mean, this is one of those tricky situations where you know that you're down by so much. So should you start desperately scheming for a bingo, or just try and keep scoring and hope that there's going to be a stroke of luck where you can maybe find incredible plays. But I mean, Ravage was the move there. It doesn't really do much. Scores 24, retains ED. Well, maybe with the board this open, I guess it might still favor him. But moving there with the J and some scoring tiles, what will you be looking to the next turn?
I see he has banjo set aside probably to play to the S of, rim shots. That S is staying in the times 4 lane. So you want to take that out. I mean, your opponent could score about 100 plus points if he plays a bingo there. So banjo for 30.
Yep, banjos for 30 points makes a ton of sense. A four timer in that spot would score a turn if Rex has the right tiles. But I can't help but see that he could have 41 points up for grabs if he wants to. There's just JA hooking JR right above Ravage, score 41 points. I mean, the lead is not so great, FLOBN, but should he just try and be scoring as much as he possibly can every single turn, or maybe be a bit more defensive? I can see he's going for Falage, and I understand he's doing this because he's worried Rex might have a bingo that plays underneath Ravage, but isn't this sacrificing too many points?
Now, coming from the other games where we've watched Mumin on stream, is usually going for his highest scores as opposed to blocking the board. But in a game like this where you are leading, properly, he would want to prevent his opponents from, making an easy comeback. And I mean, the play of Falaj takes out that spot underneath Ravage, and it also takes out the um four timer threat. So I don't think Falaj is bad.
Yeah, that makes sense. Uh, as you said, this not only blocks the lane beneath Ravage, but also obstructs maybe a four-timer through that S. So yeah, I guess this does have some merit. Now, I think Rex really needs to lock in to find his best moves here because he has 39 to 40 points available, and well, just I mean, I genuinely wouldn't expect anything less from a Masters player of his strength. He has rightfully spotted Will, although he did have WHEAL in the same spot, scoring 39 points, retaining ODE. But I guess it's pretty close.
Right. Playing the E instead of the A. Personally, yeah, I would prefer retaining the E over the A. But yeah, he has decided on playing Will with the E instead.
Yeah, and would need to have some adjustments to Momin's rack cam in a bit. Not sure if those are T's or I's. Did you catch any of that before now? I think they are I's actually.
Yeah, I think one I and one T. Not quite sure. I think we would need the technical team on ground to adjust this rack, but we can definitely make out the B, the O, the N. Two N's actually. E, I think an I and a T, or two I's.
Yeah. Um, okay, so given the fact that it might have a B and okay, that has to be a T. Yeah.
Right.
So let's see. Not many, I mean, options here, but I think Mumin might be onto something here, setting aside Bento. He desperately wants to play out as many tiles as possible so that the game can end quick. I know, yes, there is still 59 tiles left on scene, but it might have a tendency to um, play out as much tiles to avoid any sort of comeback by the opponent. But we see him going for just X9 instead. Do you think this is obstructing maybe a dangerous play there, maybe the Z, or what do you think his reasoning here might be?
Honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know. I mean, Mumin has been making some shocking plays on stream today that we, can't explain. And surprisingly, or funny enough, they end up working out for him.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, he's currently leading the standings, so surely he must know what he's doing. Etna comes down for 17 points. If I were to guess, I think he's maybe just trying to avoid a Z bomb or anything like that there, but I don't
true,
think it
true.
was one thing to be worried about, though. I saw one in the chat pointing out Boof
Both
Head.
head, yes.
Yeah,
A miss by Rex.
and
That
it
score 71, which would have taken him to 230. Um,
exactly.
inching him closer to Mumin. Unfortunately, he missed that. And oof, look at this draw from him. This, no, this is quite devastating.
Yeah, Booth Head would have given him so much chance to stage a comeback. I mean, it's still not entirely over, but now it's just going to be a lot more difficult. And now Mumin wasting no time playing. I believe this is Nob. Were there any better options you can spot that he could have played?
No, Nob 32 is his highest score in this turn with this rack.
All right, Nob there for 32 points. I mean, you're floating out the K in space, but nah, it's not the greatest of things to worry about. Now Rex with an ugly draw there. Diodous. He would have wished for maybe a spot on this board where an easy seven-letter play could fit. But from the first move of Fury, which we know does not take the front hook S, it's going to be really, really difficult to find a way to, let's say, open the board and at the same time score. And okay, we see him going for Dodo. I think at least this floats out the D in space. It returns RUS, which I mean, could be better, could be worse, but let's see what happens from here.
Right, Dodo is what he decides. Taillew for Mumin.
Yep, and now, I mean, all Mumin has to do here is just make sure he keeps scoring. Do not phony, obviously, and I mean, yeah, might want to start tidying up the board too, but for now, he actually has a move I can see he has spotted. Aliu plays next to Nob. This would hook Naobol and Dobe. I think this would be a really nice move, scoring 31 points within an ILT. I mean, you can't be too paranoid and start aggressively blocking every single float on the board. Find the D and the Y is there, but now you have 31 points up for grabs. You might as well just take it. Are there any other players that come pretty close, maybe scoring around 30 points too? Okay, so we seem to have lost the coin for a second there. But yeah, we see Mumin has opted for a Liu 31 points, retaining TIL, and it's back to Rex now with MISOUNR.
Right, and it looks like Rex rather has the option of playing Miso for 35. Yeah, I think that's the highest it could score in this turn.
Yeah, but then, well, okay, let's see. There are a couple of E's left in the bag, so maybe you could still scheme for maybe a bingo ending with ED or OID. And that S, I mean, holding on to it really would not do so much on this board. So I think, yeah, my soul would make a lot of sense. Would give back some place to the opponent. By the way, my soul hooks NAMOBOLI and DOBS and WO. We can see he has actually spotted that and set it aside. But I mean, it's not exactly giving back so much to the opponent. You're scoring 35 points. UNR, maybe just maybe can you the bingo ending with D. So, I mean, at this point, it just needs to start scoring as much points as it can every single turn. But it would really, really wish for a spot on this board where a seven-letter bingo can fit.
Right, because the board looks pretty conditioned to me. The D, maybe a bingo ending in AR or AL or EL, or yeah, ending in Y, but like the S really wouldn't have, done much for him. So I think playing it and taking as much score as possible.
Yeah, and as much as yes, a 202 points was move was made as at the I think that was the second move by Mumin. To be honest, the scores are not exactly that far apart. Fine Rex missed both head, which would have made things really, really interesting. But I mean, look at the scores right now. It's just about an 80 points difference. And we know Mumin does not have a bingo on this turn. So maybe just maybe we might be seeing an interesting game after all.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, the difference might not be so much. Even after Mumin's superb play of Esquire.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be the craziest thing ever if it said that the person currently leading the standings played a 202 point move and then ended up losing the game. Now, disclaimer obviously, it can happen and it would not be his fault in any way, but it would just be the craziest story ever. And seems like there might be a glimmer of hope here. Rex should have one first. This is valid, right? Oh, Mumin is yet to make his move, but I think we should be seeing on first next turn.
Right. On post 76. Um, and that will take Rex to 323.
Okay, so yeah, we see youth was the decision by Mumin. Okay, and then on first, as you said, 76 points. Now, lo and behold, the difference is only about 16 points. And yes, we have a game. I really, really wish this can be the level of play or the level of games you're seeing up until the final round. But if this is any hint of what is yet to come, then I'm more than excited to see how things would pan out. I think Bumin here is holding the play. Do you think we'll be seeing a challenge?
Um, Quite unlikely. I think on post sounds, correct. Um, yeah, I don't think we'd be seeing a challenge, but they never say never. Maybe Mumin just wants to, make sure that it's a valid word.
Yeah, I think he has let the play go. 10 points extra there for no reason would be maybe unnecessary. And Momin has rightfully deciphered that the word is indeed valid. Now we have a game. Well, Momin does have pretty interesting options. He can score up to 40 points in this turn. But I think the next draw for Rex would be very, very crucial if he can also reply with maybe a 40 or 50 points play.
Right. And yeah, look at now he has the Z. I haven't quite seen. All right, there's a vowel. I was worried it wasn't going to draw any
Yeah.
vowels.
And I mean, it's not his turn yet, but the Z draw already would at least assure him of maybe a 30 plus points play next turn. But let's shift our focus to Momin. He is only ahead by 16 points. And now he must be having a mental battle because Viney seems like a no-brainer. VINY plays underneath the U and the N in on burst for 40 points. But then he was opportune to play a nine-timer himself. What if he's giving back a V for Rex to reply with a nine-timer for himself? So I think it's a mental battle from here.
Right. I don't think Mumin would want to take such a risk at the moment. But then anything else he does, would not score as high as Viney.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, let's see what else is there to play. Okay, he has YIN in that same spot, but this now would hook PI and UN. But then the lead is VIL, which well, it's I mean not so bad, I guess. Let's see if there's maybe something we know Mumin always not always, but sometimes surprises us with moves we're not even expecting. But it seems this time is going for Viney. And I mean, if Rex has a bingo to the V, all well and good. And if he doesn't, we jam on.
Right, and I mean, we know that Rex, would not even might not even go there. I mean, he has options like Zig and Zag, but having two C's, it might want to, get rid of one of the C's, but then that would mean it would, use his two vowels. So curious to see what it's going to decide on.
Yeah, I think this is where Rex needs to start getting creative. Zig or Zag seems like an obvious choice. This would play above the UN in unpursed, but the leave ACCR, ICCR, not that great. I can see he's thinking about Vicar, and I sort of like this because one, you're threatening another lane for perhaps a bingo. I mean, he's leaving CZG, which we know would perhaps not yield a bingo, but Momin can't know that. So he has to at least let Momin worry about something. And looking at the back, there are 12 vowels and 9 consonants on sin. So I would feel pretty good about playing Vicar and hoping to pick vowels. Well, we know Mumin has a ton of them. I think he has about 5. So that means there's actually only 7 vowels left in the bag, but still, Rex can't know that. And I think he's actually still pretty likely to pick a vowel after playing Vrike or Vicar.
Right, I think that sounds pretty good to me. Retaining the Z, hopefully, who knows, maybe a spot would open up for him to play maybe a move that scores about 40 or so. But yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure he's not quite focused or bothered about trying to bingo or anything. He knows he has the Z that can do some damage next turn. So maybe just scoring 40 consistently might be something he's really, really trying to do. And I mean, Vicar for 30 points, keeping CGZ. Maybe, I mean, he has a pretty good chance of joining to an I. We can see there are 4 I's on Sin. So that means Zig at top, UN would still be available. And I mean, at the very least, maybe Zas if he draws into an A to the S and on post. So I can't quite see if there's anything else to consider. I'm seeing options like Virga to in that same spot, but CCZ, nah, it just looks too ugly. So he's rightfully taking his time as he should, but he has about 4 minutes left, so I think he should pick up the speed a little bit.
right, looks like he has decided on Vicar for 30, which takes him to 353. Mumin still ahead, 379.
Yeah, he's ahead, but he can't be too relaxed here because one, he has only 1 point styles, which can't do quite a lot of damage. From his perspective, he can see that an S is unseen, the Z is unseen, and I mean, the bag could yield some 7 letter bingos, given the right style, although anyone probably needs an E to hook that R in the Vicar to play bingo down there. So uh, I think what he might be looking to do here is I mean, he can't block the board completely, probably try and squeeze out some points. But now I'm actually looking at the board critically. How can he even manage to score well on this turn?
Hmm. I think having 1 point style at this point in the game is um probably going to slow him down a bit. I see he has lie set aside. Not quite sure. Okay, maybe he's looking to Not quite sure where he wants to do that.
And the thing is, if he wants to score as much points as he can at the end, but then it just looks too risky because it's opening up the board in a relatively closed down board as it is. Funnily, the top engine choice here seems to be just AIS to the S in on purse. Now, this retains EILEN. I don't think it's quite about the leave. I mean, yes, you have the E to maybe play bingo next turn, but the most obvious, um, let's say, threats would be maybe a Z play there, maybe just Zas or something for 33 points or so. So maybe AIS, and I mean, you're floating the A, which would be a floater. So, I mean, would this be something you would want to do?
I mean, I think it's worth considering, although the suggestion of AIS and looking at the, unseen tiles, he could actually draw a bingo next turn if he ends up doing that. And like you pointed out, the play of ply like kind of gives your opponent an easy spot to bingo. But then, like always, Mumin surprises us going for ply, which scores 23.
Wow. Wow, I can. I'm very surprised he's doing this. I mean, yes, he can't know that Rex has tiles that are nowhere near bingo, but then from his perspective as at that point, I mean, it could be really possible that a seven-letter bingo would have just fit right next to that E imply. But then he's going for points, and the funny thing is, it would be the one actually threatening to bingo next turn because the AINE was a very, very good leave. But Rex now still with the Z and a couple more tiles. Can he finally squeeze out maybe a 40-point play or more in this turn?
No, I think the highest he could do is 30. That would be plain zap at top on posts, forming PUN, zap for 33 or zip. Yeah, no 40 point play for him on this turn.
Yeah, but I'm saying something really interesting here. I think Gasp would be a really nice play for him to that Arsenal post. This would score 30 points with an ICDZ. I mean, yes, he's probably holding on for the Z for too long, but I mean, you can always find maybe a play that would score well with it next turn. So maybe just maybe it's something you might want to do. But yeah, he has made his moves. ZIG retaining CADP was what he went for.
Um, I mean, if he had played Gasp, that would be floating the G in the triple lane. Do you think he would want to risk an ING bingo?
I mean, he's down. He knows his chances are dwindling with every move. So I don't think it's something he would be too worried about. Gasp leaving the Z might be something to consider. Yes, in all sincerity, there actually is a lot of scenarios where Mumin would just easily have an ING bingo. But I mean, from my perspective, if I'm saying a 30-point play, not using my Z, then I think I would be taking it. But ZIG leaving CAPD, looking at the unseen pool, he probably felt he has a pretty good chance of drawing into certain vowels that could yield a bingo. And truthfully, if Mumin did not have the exact styles that he had, it's possible that the PACD leave could have yielded some bingos. But Mumin still, I mean, he's in the driver's seat, but he still cannot be too relaxed. The S is unseen. He doesn't know Rex doesn't have it, and he has just 1 point stars yet again. And he knows his last move opened up the board quite well. And now the Z is gone, and from his perspective, is AACDEINPUST. Anyone who is saying that after tracking knows that there are countless bingos that can fit. So, I mean, how can he shut down the board and make sure he's not scoring too little?
Right. I mean, it's only ahead by 19 points, which is really not a lot. Um, Let's see what's. Hmm. I can see
Just
a play of
odds.
OT to the Y, but that really doesn't do so much.
Wow. He has gone for just COT. To okay, the Y in Furry. Oh, okay, okay, yeah, but
Right.
yeah, that doesn't quite do too much. But he has gone for COT here. I mean, AITNE is a very good leave, but then isn't this just scoring too little? Is this giving Rex any glimmer of hope to make a comeback?
Let's see. Now the spread is about 26. Rex has a 33-point play cusp through the S of on Purst, and that would retain AADE. Then he would go ahead to empty the bag. I hmm
Yeah, is exactly the reaction to have here. Okay, so let's say we can dive deep as quickly as we can. He has less than 2 minutes. From his perspective, he says AEINNST. The only bingos that you can see that would fit with the T floating, there's actually nothing. Ooh,
right, but
PASG.
then um Cusp would have given back anti-size for Mumin,
Ooh, nice. Nice.
so
Yeah.
it's not even a good option.
I mean, yeah, you would not know that for sure, but it's true. Looking at the unseen pool, it just seems like anticize is a very likely scenario that could happen. So I'll try and be as fast as possible because both players are running out of time and they will try to play in really quickly. But do you think AESC would have been slightly better than PASE in that spot?
I mean, I think floating the A would be a little bit more dangerous than floating the P.
Well, maybe that's possible, but then look at the score difference, just 5 points. And now, what winning sequence is there for Moment? Well, he happens to actually have some scenarios here, oh, sorry, some sequence here that could win. And they are, I mean, relatively straightforward. The thing here is just finishing 2 moves, regardless of what you're scoring. CANDUT can't do enough damage by Rex. So as long as it's finishing next turn, he has absolutely nothing to worry about. I'm seeing going for RANI. I mean, it's just scores 11 points, but I think this should be enough to um let him win the game, right?
Yeah. After this, takes him to 420. I think the highest Rex could score is 14 or 15. Maybe playing Ducal to the L or Folage or um Doctal. Yeah, I think Mumin is going to win this one.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the engine now, and it seems even ASC, even though it scores more, would still not have won the game for Rex. It was a really difficult position it was in as at that point. As you said, cost PS for 33 seems like a lot, but with the unseen pool, anti-size would have just been a really plausible thing to come down at that turn. And now we've seen really quick plays. And
Knight.
yes, I think it's on old. I mean, Rex knows that it's a lost game, so maybe he would be
Right.
challenging this just for the sake of it.
Yeah, there's a challenge. There's a challenge, additional 10 points for Mumin, which would make the final scores 420 to 446. I think we have to applaud Rex making,
Yeah.
a comeback right from, the beginning after your opponent played a 202.9 timer is a lot.
Yeah.
Reducing the deficit to just 26. That is class.
Honestly, because Momin was at the edge of his seat. The whole game. There was no point where it was relaxed. I covered, I played 202 points. I can just cruise to victory. No, Rex kept the pressure, although both had the miss of both head would have made things a lot more interesting. But
Interesting.
still, yeah, but still, it was really fantastic play from both players here. And wow, what a way to start the King of the Hill. I can see a couple of people in the chat. Thank you for joining us. For anyone just coming in, this has been round 16 of the DDNSC. We just saw Mumin retain his position at top at the standings. He would now be on 13 wins to 3 losses, while Rex would drop a bit further down. Let's see if there's anything happening in the standings. Okay, mm, a lot of games are still ongoing, so we haven't quite seen anything updated yet. But Doko won his last game against Edo Bobor, and David Oji pulled a really impressive win against Shegun Durojaye, finishing 5-3-1 to Shegun's 350, and this would really help him um, claw his way up to the top of the standings because it's currently in eighth position. And after the rest of the games are done, he would probably edge a bit higher in the standings. So things are getting really interesting here. The race for the title seems to be in Momin's favor, but two games, anything can still happen. Make sure you don't go anywhere. It has been Excel when you are here, and Coinsola Lasaki will be back with round 17 up on your screens very, very soon. This has been Scrabble Events TV. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Governor Douye Diri National Scrabble Classic 6.0. This is round 17, the penultimate round, and we have something pretty interesting going on here. Before I delve deeper, as always, I'm Exelma and joining me alongside for the commentary is Koinsola Lasaki. Are you there, please? Okay, it seems she's not quite here yet. For anyone listening, let me give you an overview of what the standings is like presently. Um yeah, so we have Abdulmumin Jimo leading the standings is on 13 wins and 3 losses. And Yufoma Imavi is also on your screens, is in second position at 12 wins and 4 losses. Now, one thing I can say for sure is whoever is winning the 2 million grand prize is between these two players because everyone else is on 11 wins. And regardless of who wins or who loses in the next two games, the winner for this tournament would emerge from either of those two players. Now, all Mumin has to do now is if he wins this game, he is going to be Gizbunai's next round, and is automatically the winner even without playing the next round or the final round. But if Euphoma can manage to stop him, then things would get really, really interesting, and then we'll see them have a winner take all sort of scenario in the last round. So those are the stakes. There's 2 million up for grabs for whoever comes first in the masters category, and 1.2 million naira for second place. We know these two players are already entitled to either of that, but I mean, let's see how this game would pan out. Mumin starting, and he has Amigo as his first choice, retaining IE. Yeah, I think I have Coinsola joining me now. Are you there?
Yes, Excel, I am here. Hello everyone. Sorry for joining a bit late, but now I'm here. Yeah, looks like we have Mumina and Ufoma on stream. Yeah.
All right. Now, he has Ifoma here has only one vowel. You see, he's just going for tout, keeping things pretty. Uh, how do I put this now? I think pretty standard. TOWT written RST. He might as well just go into the bag next turn and draw into the perfect tiles to bingo next turn, which might be very likely. Mumin now with the Z, but some ugly rocks there. IIUOIE and the Z. I think we know Mumin doesn't mind exchanging tiles if it's push comes to shove. Would he be doing that here or try and weather the storm?
I mean, unlike the last game where, he didn't exchange and then kept the queue and came back with a nine timer of 202 points. I think Mumin would be looking to exchange it because IIOUU is just no. No, there's no saving that rack.
Yeah, to be fair, I still can't get over the fact that we saw just in the second move score 202 points in the last game. And I'm hoping for something as exciting in this game. Necessarily doesn't have to be a nine timer, but I'm just hoping for maybe a really close game where the end game would be really tricky or something like that. And there we go, the first bingo of the match for Euphoma playing travels. Were there maybe better options or something else you might have considered playing?
His highest score was Valet 81, playing right next to Tout, but that opens the triple lane. And if Ufoma has any idea of what Mumin did last game, I think he would not be very ecstatic in opening that place. So I think he's playing it safe. Travel 76. Thank you so much, Tony Odok. Um, I see you in the chat. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, very well said. Valet plays parallel to TOWT that would hook ITAV GOROWL and TE and score 81 points. But I don't think it's necessarily just about the fact that Mumin could have a nine timer bingo to reply. It just seems, I mean, the difference between that is just a 5 points difference. And I mean, our travels for 76 points doesn't require too many um, perfect tiles to, let's say, punish this move. So, I mean, I would not be too worried about just playing the travels here for 76 points. And now, after the exchange, we see Mumin having slightly better racks here. Can see a set aside NIEF. Um, would that, okay, I think this can play at top travels, still retaining the Z. Do you think you should do this or maybe look to play out the Z now?
Playing the Z now would, okay, let's see. If he's looking to play the Z, probably a move like Ionizer to the R or Ionize, retaining F. But from the look of things, I think he wants to hold on to the Z for one more turn.
Yeah, I think I kind of understand why he's doing this. The maybe standard move would be something like Fozier, Fozier, as you said, Ionize or Ionizer there. But I think that just gives back very easy parallel plays that the opponent could have and score a bunch. So I think NIEF still retaining the Z, waiting and seeing if he can do a lot more damage with the next turn. Is what is opting for Euphoma there with some not so favorable tiles. What do you think he should do?
Let's see. AUNE right next to Amigo scores 19, retaining DEA. But looks like he has made his move of Duan right underneath Travels to take out that spot, which scores 25, retaining three vowels AEE.
Yeah, I can't really fault this. Now the Uzo as we see that he's doing right now.
Right. I mean, the only downside of playing Uzo is exposing that, hot spot. But then if your opponent doesn't have something to punish that move, then it means it worked out well for you. And it's currently trailing by about 45 points. So I think that should be the least of his worries.
Yeah, and I mean you can't just autoplay a swap there. You have 31 points up for grabs and you're retaining I and I, which I mean yeah can go sideways, but it's still not a bad move to consider. So Oyezedu for 31, and it's back to Euphoma with ERACEEI. It's looking slightly better, at least than last turn. For it seems they would have to just play out maybe try and balance the styles here. I think, uh, but man, it seems he's not in the business of any of that.
Right. I mean, in order to balance the rack, it means it would have to probably play two vowels out, maybe EA or EE. And then that wouldn't even quite guarantee him joining a bingo, because then what if he runs and what if he picks two more vowels? Then he's going to run into a very sticky situation. So I think retaining EE and playing this, I mean, this costs 20, so it's quite fair.
Yep. Plays out five tiles, you're retaining EE. There's still the blank on saying, the J, maybe to cash in on that hotspot. Yeah, actually, now I'm seeing the reasoning behind the serial move. I mean, if you start fishing for tiles, just playing EE, retaining CAIER, still doesn't necessarily promise a bingo next turn. It's not like you have an S or a blank or something like that. So, yeah, serial slightly tidies the board. The hook to ZAS now is gone. The hook to ITS is gone. And the O floating before is no longer floating. And yeah, now I kind of like this. Now Mumain still in some um I don't know if you want to call it now. He was battling with Z and
If it is indeed a word.
Right, we'll be updating the scores real quick. Seria plus 10 would be 30 points, and that would take the scores to Ufoma's 149 to Mumin 74. I mean, I don't want to jinx this, but hey, as a commentator, I'm going to be slightly biased towards anything that can give us the craziest of scenarios. And Mumin winning outright here would be all fine and good, but I would be looking forward to a final round 18 game where both players is either like you it's a winner take all situation where whoever wins the championship. So yeah, maybe I'm a bit biased towards Ifoma winning this round just so we can have an interesting round 18, but still it's still very early. We've seen QI come down immediately, and seems Ufoma is making his move already.
Right. Gluey retaining ES. Gluey scores 34 points, which is a lot, and kind of opens the board a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, 34 points, retaining ES, he can't quite complain about that. And it's funny how he is the same player who played Seria, um, which, I mean, slightly obstructs the board. But now playing Louis, throwing everything open, I think it's important for players to know when to, switch gears and not just be so hell-bent on saying, oh, I want to block the board all through. And, I mean, there were literally no better options as close to Bluey in that turn. Yes, the downsides, as we said, it's floating out a couple of tiles, but might as well just take your score and maybe avoid things like a JO play for about 50 points. So I really like the move, and he retained ES, which was a pretty good leave.
Right, and I think even the play of Seria wasn't necessarily to, block the board. It was just playing according to his workers at that time.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, with the C, you're trying to score with it, and they found a word where the C would be on the triple letter word there. So yeah, good job by you for man. I mean, it's no surprise. Is currently second in the standings, and we've seen Momin on stream countless times, and it's very impressive to see how both players are doing so far. Now, Momin with the K and the M combination with a couple of vowels, would we be seeing maybe some really interesting play? I know the M and K can make up certain really cool combinations like Michael and the likes. So would we be seeing any maybe obscure word played here?
I saw him. Yeah, that's what he's doing because I saw him pick up AMONA, which would play to the R Ramona for 33.
Yep, Ramona for the 3 points, retaining IK. Now the board is wide open. MONA is floating, the GLU is floating, and this is exactly what Bumin wants for someone who is slightly behind. He would want the board to be wide open so that he can make a comeback if he has the right styles. Now we knew Ufoma retained ES in the last turn, but then drawing five vowels. So it's going to be a tough turn here for him. But as I always say, can he make lemons out of can he make lemonades out of these lemons rather?
Would be pretty interesting to see someone make lemons out of it.
Yeah. I mean maybe a time traveler or something. But yeah, what options does he have on this turn?
Um, he must be looking to either not, use the one vowel he has, because if he does that and then picks more consonants, then it would run into a bit of a sticky situation. So there's the option of Beth playing it atop Ramona, retaining PEDS. Beth scores 21, and he has another move which scores 15 points more. Hotbeds playing through the O of Ramona for 36. I think Hotbeds, do you think it's a little too aggressive?
I mean, I would, if I could spot this, I think I would go for hotbeds, honestly. It scores 36 points. I'm looking at the pool, I'm seeing the J, K, X, two blanks, a couple of vowels, and all that. And I mean, I really would not mind playing out some tiles here to score 36 points. Yes, once again it can go wrong. I mean, there is the U, V, and all sort of clunk in the back, but I think 36 points, trying to maintain that strong lead that I have, would be something I would do. But then he's going for bed. But we know PHT is actually a word, and there's some synergy sort of with that. There are SH words, there's SP words, there are words ending with TH. So I actually don't mind that leave, but I would personally not be playing bed though.
Right. I don't think I would also play bed. The P and the H situation is just looking like a lot.
Yeah, and I was saying just now how Mumin's rack was gradually shaping up. But looking at it now, nah, it's not quite there yet. The only glimmer of hope he has is that K that he's holding on to, which from the last move of Ifoma now would be giving him a 36 or 38 points play. Well, aside that, the leave now, PODAI, I mean, he would really wish for something better than this.
Right. But then, two blanks in the bag, we might just be in for a surprise.
Yep, and Ifoma drawing into a W with that PHT combination. Honestly, I love combinations like this. Not for bingoing, obviously, but when you have the PWH, there is just so many possibilities if you have a vowel with that. Now we know WH go well together too, and with that, I think it moved like WOP, WHOP, instantly cleans up that rack pretty nice, and this would play atop that IN in key for 30 points, retaining LST. And I really would not say any complaint with that, but no, he's going for something different.
Yeah, POH for 37.
Oh, I see. I assumed Momin played okay in the last turn, but it seems it is KO he played instead, which is a 1 point sacrifice. But well, um, now it's giving back this huge play to Euphoma.
Right, and it's Mumin's turn to play now with ADIOPRS. Um,
Yeah.
I would think AirPods is a word, and then I would try it, and then my opponents would challenge, and then I'll be
uh,
surprised.
Yeah, yeah, good line of thoughts there. I mean, why isn't airports valid for? Sadly, it is not. The sevens in Iraq is paranoid, and we saw Mumin actually line that up. But I learned something recently. Bingo that doesn't play. This is not official, by the way, but I now start calling the dingo. So it did not go on this board. So no space for sparoid. And in the absence of that, what exactly can be done? I mean, it's trailing by about 70 points plus. What could be the line of action here?
I mean, someone would not, and by someone I mean myself. I would not want to blow up the rack, so maybe like playing a tile or two. But Bumin has been surprising us a whole lot on stream, and it
And it
looks like he's
seems,
going for a play of dipole. I think he already made the play and was hearing a challenge.
yeah, it's invalid. You did mention he's been surprising us, and yes, this is surprising us now with the first pony we are seeing him play on stream. And I understand that it's a desperate attempt, and there's dipolar, but it just doesn't take the back hook S,
Eh,
and this would really, really, really change the um, trajectory of this game.
right. I think that's pretty, that was pretty sad to see. And Ufoma is taking the lead now, almost 100 points ahead of Mumin. And like you called, if Mumin, eventually wins this game, then it would be um a win for him, and it's going to, emerge winner. But like you said, we really do want to see round 18 where the winner takes all. So
Yeah,
yeah, not to
but
be a bit biased. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
but then look at this. Why did Ifoma speed run that move that quickly? Because now He has actually given back a bingo to
Whoa.
Mumin. Picados now plays with that
Whoa.
floating C.
Wow.
Exactly. Now he has found it. Why did he rush that move? Like, you can see Ifoma leaning back and scratching his neck there.
Right, because he didn't even take a moment to probably assess the rack and check if he was giving anything back. And we saw something quite similar in, I think that was 2 or 3 games ago, where Shegun was trying to block an outplay, and but
Yeah,
she ended up giving yes. So
yeah.
this is something.
Yeah, and even that is understandable because there was time pressure and all that. But here you have a solid lead. You can easily cruise to victory here
Right.
without giving back too much. But then, well, I mean, it's content. I don't mind it. Jam on. Now we see weights coming down. There was a 51 points play in that turn through disconnected tiles. I can see a couple of people in the chat. I would really love some engagement from you guys. First, tell us the state you're watching from. For starters, I'm in Ocean State here, and Koinsola, where are you commentating from?
I'm in Lagos, the heart of Nigeria.
Yeah, right. Okay, so for anyone joining us, please tell us where you're watching from. We'd love to give a shout out to you. And yeah, let's go back to the game very quickly. Wait was the move, but I'll just quickly mention the 51 points play. There was Tisaritsa through the disconnected R and ZA for 51 points. Well, I mean, it's a pretty tough find, and Wait isn't quite bad.
Yeah, but yeah, very obscure. Um, and very confusing because I've never heard of it before, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't even looking to play there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not one thing you'd be looking at. Now, Mumin does have certain bingos. I can see in fires and
Refines.
refines here and all
Right.
that, but no space on this board as many, not many though. There are a couple of floaters. I can see the G and all that, but no space for him to play any of those bingos. Now, what can Mumin do here? Can he cook something up to try and win this game?
I know I've said this like 16 times, but then again, you really cannot tell what Mumin is thinking. And I think it's that, unpredictability, if that's a word, is what has gotten him thus far in the game.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, here, well, as he has rightfully done, FEAR makes a ton of sense. It scores 21 points, retains RINES, which is a very good leaf to have, maybe to play. Maybe starting with that gene, Louis or something. Maybe you draw an A and you can play something atop that gene, Clonk. So I totally understand the reasoning behind that move. And Euphoma here, well, once again blitzing through his move HEX. Do we have any uh thing to say about this move? I mean, don't quite like it, but I mean, I don't hate it either.
Right, like one vowel, there's really not much it can do. Yeah, I'm really very indifferent. I really don't know if I feel good or not about the move.
Well, look at what is happening. Inserted still fits after. Oh, did I love the fact that Mumin was able to spot this, because look at this, it's hooks, dish, and TW. And I mean, when you have this set of tiles, you might be wondering, oh, if only I had an E float, and then you see that E and like, nah, there's too many obstructions there and my bingo can't fit. But you see Mumin taking his time and rightfully spotting that he did have a bingo that would fit there.
Right, and that was the only place his bingo would have landed. So great find from Mumin. I see someone in chat say that they're watching from Osun State. Excel is also in Osun
You
State.
see, you're saying the heart of Nigeria, yet we've not seen any Lagosian in chat. So, I
Where are
mean,
my Lagosians? Guys, please say something.
now we have a game. Look at the scores. Moments 338 to Euformas 319. It looks like it has a really good rack there. Uh there's, yes, Relent, Nesla, Slenter, but I mean, looking at the shape of the board, no space for such bingos. And now he's going for Steen. He's been blowing up his rack for a couple of terms now. Do you think this is the way to go?
Oh, I do not know. I mean, from his perspective, so I think that must be the reason why he has been, playing as much tiles as possible, hoping to draw one of the blanks. And this turnaround is very funny because right before Ufoma made his move, Mumin was leading by 19 points. So yeah, this comeback is something. I mean, if Mumin
Yeah.
manages to win this game, then kudos to him.
Yep, and as I've said, for anyone just watching, if Mumin wins this game, I mean, he wins the tournament automatically. There is still one more round left, but with the way the standings are presently, Mumin winning this game would definitely means he has won the tournament. So it's a must win for you, former, if he wants to have a shot at that 2 million naira cash prize. Now, let's take a look at the position. It's 338 points for Mumin, Ifoma 346, and it is Mumin's turn. He has seen the JVY, and it's a pretty good combination if the board were any different. But looking at the board right now, there is almost nothing that Jay can get him without maybe burning the blank or something. Um, One thing I'm saying, it's a very, very not very though. It's a hidden play rather. Apologies for me zoning out there. Jelly can fit
Right.
somewhere on this board for 48 points, and I'll try and call it out. The disconnected P and G would form peg there, and then ILL, and then AYA, and what is jelly in that spot would score 48 points, retaining IRV. But then look at the unseen pool. There is ABEIRLU, and to be honest, it seems like there is a very good chance that Ifoma could have a bingo, maybe starting with A or the U, or maybe which would play atop the G in Klong. I'm looking through the possibilities, and already I can see things like Oracle, Audible. I mean, there's a couple because there's a blank in question. So, what can Momin do here? Should he look to shut down that lane for a 7 letter bingo? Or I know the G is obviously floating to for a bingo, or he should just try and score and say his prayers.
Let's see. I mean, Jelly, like you pointed out, scores 48, which doesn't quite, win the game for him if Ufoma has a bingo. I mean, we know that he doesn't have an out bingo, but Mumin doesn't know that. So if by any chance Ufoma has an out bingo, Jelly 48 would not do it. So Mumin might just be considering um blocking, but like I really don't see how he's going to do that. I mean, there's the play of Jiggy, right? Jiggy Klong, playing through Klong, Jiggy for
Yeah.
5. What does that do?
But it seems that that would lose to a couple of things. Let's say Jiggy would float to the G again. The G has the blank, and putting that in, there would be a couple of eights rather, like guidable, which would be playable from his perspective, or guerrilla. The fact that there's a blank to consider would just make
Right.
it really
Um,
difficult.
yeah, I just checked now. Jiggy would 100% lose because then it would be footing the J, and then John Blair 101 points. Yeah,
Oh,
that's not even an option, right?
yep, yep.
So we have to think of something else like what can Mumin do?
For some reason, the engine believes that playing vow and VIE gives him a 75% chance of winning. That would score 16 points. Let's see. Uh, First, as I've said, there are obviously threats like Audible, Oracle, and a couple that I mentioned the other time. I can't quite remember. That could be an outplay for Euphoma from his perspective. Wow.
Oh no! Ah, my
Wow.
goodness.
Yep,
Oh
Jiggy.
dear.
Let's see if he commits this move.
Oh dear, it's counting.
And I mean, you can't quite blame him. Yeah, he has committed the move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like J can't be an easy word to, an easy letter rather to bingo with.
Bingo, yes. I mean, what's
And Jiggy scores well, 45 points. But look at this. John Blair now would score 101 points. Now, the question remains, can Euphoma spot this?
my goodness, I'm sitting like I'm not even sitting right now, I'm pacing because there's so much tension. Like I'm not even the one on the hot seat. Because
Yeah.
now Mumin should, would 100% know what Ufoma has, and who knows, he might have even spotted it and he's like, oh my goodness, what
Yeah,
if he spots this? What if he
exactly.
doesn't?
But you
Emotionally
have to keep
kind of
your cool.
inflating, right? You just
Yeah.
have to like keep your cool, like, oh no, please, like there's nothing you can do, I've won, and all of that. I see someone in chat say congratulations, Mumi. Please, please don't get tired of yourself. Jumblia
Yeah.
is still there, 101 points, and
Yeah. And the thing
it's
here is, sorry for cutting you short, there is nothing
mhm.
else that can win for Euphoma. Like there is no sequence, no other bingo, nothing. It has to be either spotting John Blair or not. So this is a must find for him.
Right. My goodness, this is my God. I think I'm hyperventilating, and I'm not even me. Like, how must this is such an interesting game.
Look at women
Um,
here just drinking a bottle of from a bottle
I
of water there,
mean,
keeping this cool. But he knows in his head that I've most likely lost this if he finds Joblia. But now you just have to pretend like everything is chill. Nah, I've won this game. There's nothing that is happening.
I mean, if Ufama doesn't spot this, I wonder what he's going to feel like if after the game,
Yeah,
Mumin tells him like, you should have done this, or you could have done this, or someone comes to tell him
yeah.
like, oh my God, you have this. Oh, this is a lot.
Seems someone in chat is so sure that
He won't
Informer
find
will
it.
not. But I mean, it's
But
one of
then
those things that you have to. So
yes,
like,
like
there's
if you spot it, like you just have to try. Like
yeah,
what if he tries a
exactly.
phony and it works?
Yeah. I mean, yes, I agree. I agree with the fact that it is not the easiest of things to find, but
Right.
the fact that it is the only thing to even think about, aside the G in the second G, therefore maybe you want to try something like Globia or something, but nah, you're looking at that G and you know this is the only thing that can make me win this game. I have the blank. Can there be something here? So I think that would really condition his brain to be focused and honed in on that spot and eventually try it out. He has 5 minutes left on the clock, which is more than enough time for a player of his strength to look through every single letter and see if he can find a bingo.
Right. I mean, like if he doesn't play Jumblia, what other option does he have? I think the highest he could score is 25, and that's playing in the obscure spot where Jelly would have played. And he should, he would have realized that that loses. And so if he spots Jumblia, personally, you just have to play it. I mean, you're going to lose either way, so why not try it and then still lose? But
Yeah,
then again, you just have to try it.
yeah. But the issue is even finding it first, allowing
Yes, I think
yourself
finding
to,
it is difficult.
yeah, that possibility that okay, I might actually have a bingo to that J. We can see it's very, very close. It's UB blank LIER, maybe thinking of Joblia or something like that. But no, if it just swaps that B and the blank, and ah, seems like I don't even know. Because now he has deviated from that, and maybe he's thinking of a bingo starting with GRUB or something like
Right.
that.
Anyways, Engineer Dipo Akobi in the chat saying is in Lagos. Yes, my fellow Lagosian. Good evening, sir. Yes, jokes on you, Excel.
Oh yeah, so real quick for anyone just joining, please, we'd like to know where you're watching from, and have some discourse in the chat with you. Once again, this is the 17th round of the Governor Douye Diri National Scrabble Classic 6.0, and this is the Masters category here, and this is the top board we are streaming. Abdulmumin Jimo is the one currently leading the standings now on 13 wins and 3 losses. The person closest to him is Ifeoma on 12 wins and 4 losses. Now, if Mumin wins this game, even though there's going to be a next round, which is the last round, the moment Mumin wins this game, is going to be on 14 wins, and then there is nobody else that can catch up to him. Now, the clock is down to about 3 minutes now.
Wow.
Euphoma on 346, Mumin on 383. We can see he hasn't even spotted the possibility of a word like Jumblia. The closest we've seen him think about is UB blank LIER, and who knows, he was probably even thinking of the G for maybe something like Gobbler or something. So, can Ifoma lock in on that J for 101 points? And this would not quite make him win the tournament, though, but would give him a fighting chance in the last
That's
round. Yeah,
yes.
where him and Mumin will slug it out once more for the 2 million naira cash prize.
Wow. We had a highlight last game, Esquire 202 points.
Yeah.
I mean, I would really love another highlight in this game. If you ask me, like, oh my god.
Truth is, we'll see the highlight already. Whether he sees it or he misses it is an highlight already, honestly.
Right.
Because there's something to be talked about, like, oh, we saw you for Miss John Blair to win the 2 million naira cash prize and all that. But yeah, I wonder how Mumin feels, because I'm pretty sure Mumin must have seen the rank and know that, okay, he has an
Oh,
out.
most definitely. That's very probable.
Yeah.
Mumin must have seen it. I mean, look at him. Like, he has been changing city positions for the past 4 minutes. It was really be on the edge of his seat, right? And yeah, Dumblia. And it's funny because his Ufama is down by like 40. So even if he runs into a time deficit of like 3 minutes, is still going to win this game, because a hundred and
Yeah,
one points is a lot.
that is true. Okay, let's say 101 points to take him to first. In fact, he can afford to flag by 6, 7 minutes or more.
Right?
No,
Oh no,
uh,
maybe five
no,
minutes
four, five
max.
minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Sorry,
5 minutes
let get
max.
ahead of myself. Yeah, so seem still racking. Let's see what other floaters could he even be considering. I don't think there's anything else
There
but
isn't,
the
like, it's
J, the
just
I,
that.
and the G.
Yeah, it's just the I, the G, and the J. Obviously, not looking for a word starting with I, so it's the G and the J.
Yeah.
My goodness, this is nerve wracking. I'm feeling so much tension. Like, no, guys. Oh my, oh.
Oh no.
Well,
Wow, wow,
congratulations, Mumi.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, like 30 seconds
Congratulations
left.
are in order. Wow, wow, wow.
30
Let's
seconds
see.
left. Like,
Wow, he has committed the clock. I want to see the look on his face when this game is over, and then
over.
maybe
We
somebody
really
tells
need to,
him,
like, wait and
yeah,
see if Mumin says something like, oh my god, you could have done this. You had this.
yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations are in order, ladies and gentlemen. Drum roll, please. The winner of the 6th Governor Douye Diri National Scrabble Classic 2026, Abdul Mumin Jimo.
Woo! Well,
Right?
very well done to
We
him.
see him pull out his checker. Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Um, Mumin is, I don't know. They're analyzing the game. Let's see. Okay, just took a picture of the board. But like, I would really like Ufoma to probably check and see
Yeah,
what he missed.
still hasn't realized. Wait for
Right?
it. Wait for it. Uh, well, I've seen no reaction from him. Maybe he has actually not even put the J yet, but
Right. And Mumin, Mumin
well,
isn't even there again.
it is what it is. I can see people congratulating Mumi
I
now.
see
Very
I
well
see
done to
Ufoma
him.
just put his hand on his head and then he's
Ooh,
resting back now. I think he has realized. I think he checked and then he has realized that he missed
yeah.
it.
And quick shout out to David Oji, who we are saying congratulating Mumin there, the youngest Masters player playing in this tournament. Not quite sure
Right.
how his last game went. Let me take a quick peek. David Oji, he played John Ayedon, but it's yet to be uploaded. So, but well, let's not take anything away from the champion for 2026 DDNSC, the one, the only Jimo Abdul
Abdul
Mumin.
Mumin.
Yeah, we can see Foma there putting his hands on his head. I think people now have told him what he missed and is must be beating himself up. But I mean, it's Scrabble, man. It happens. It happens. And I mean, one man's defeat is another man's how victory, I guess.
Right. I think someone just pointed it out. And I see him, yeah, someone is pointing it out. Dumblia. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. I think the game just had this turnaround as soon as he played Klong and Mumin managed to get that bingo down.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Because Ifoma had an early
Edge.
lead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you think about it, from the main travels was played, Mumina had to struggle and struggle through certain tiles before he could stage a comeback. But inserted, Sporting inserted as at that point was the most crucial move that Mumina could have made because genuinely Jiggy would have lost him the game in
Right.
many scenarios, not just for Jumblia.
Right.
But Sporting inserted then was very, very crucial. So very well done to him. A young player here in Nigeria who has been dominating many, many national tournaments, and he's just adding this one to his bag as hitting the life and then moving on to the next tournament. So very well done to him. Any words as regards the tournament as a whole? I mean, obviously we're still streaming the last game, but anything you want to say about this game, to the winner and all?
I mean, I for one really think this game was pretty exciting, and kudos to Ufoma. He played really well. But
Yeah,
then our winner, a well-deserved winner, we saw him come on stream and win almost every single game um
yeah,
on stream. Yes, so kudos to Jim Abdul Mumin. He played spectacularly well in this game. The find of it started didn't take up to a minute. Like, it was
yeah.
pretty fast. Spotted his move, and made some surprising moves that ended up working out for him in the end. So yeah, congratulations to Jimo Abdul Mumin. This was wonderful. It really was. I really enjoyed this game.
Definitely. All right, guys, if you're still with us, please don't go anywhere because there's still one more game. Fine, we know who our winner for the 2 million naira cash prize would be, but there is still 1.2 million naira up for grabs for second place and would most likely be streaming the game between Ufoma and whoever won on table two. We don't have the results yet, so please don't go anywhere. There's still a final game to go with, who knows, maybe even more content and more drama or something. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.